Most people talk about the 5-1 and 6-2 offenses. But what about the rare systems you almost never see? In this video, we're breaking down some of the most obscure volleyball offenses, including the 4-2, 4-6, 6-6, and 6-3 systems. I'll explain how each offense works, who sets the ball, and why these systems exist, and when, if ever, you might actually use them. If you want a deeper understanding of volleyball strategy beyond the basics, this one's for you. Before we get started, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so we can keep creating more in-depth volleyball breakdowns. And if you haven't already, check out our other defensive system breakdowns like perimeter defense and rotation defense. The key difference between these volleyball offenses is who sets the ball and from where on the court. In a 4-2 offense, there are two setters, but they only set when they are in the front row, which limits attacking options but simplifies decision-making for beginners. The 4-6 offense goes a step further by having whoever is in right front act as the setter, meaning every player must be able to set, making it very basic but inconsistent. In a 6-6 offense, the setter always comes from right back, again requiring all players to set and creating constant role changes. The 6-3 offense uses three setters, each setting from the back row for two rotations, and typically hitting when they rotate to the front row, offering more attackers but demanding high versatility. Now let's take a look at the 4-2 volleyball offense scheme. So what is the 4-2 formation? The 4-2 formation is a unique and straightforward formation in volleyball. In this system, you'll have 4 specified attackers and 2 specified setters. The key distinction here is that 2 distinct setters will only set from the front row, and they alternate setting responsibilities every 3 rotations. Here is an example of the first 3 rotations. Please feel free to pause at any time. Now let's take a look at the 4-6 volleyball offense scheme. So what is the 4-6 formation? The 4-6 formation is unique because it allows every player on the court to have the opportunity to set, but it's limited. In this formation, there is always a setter setting out of the front row, and there are always 2 front row attackers, which means only 2 hitters are in play at a time, never 3. This limits offensive options because you don't have a full front row of attackers every rotation. Here are the key features of the 4-6 formation. In a 4-6 formation, the setting responsibilities are mainly assigned to the front row. This creates a dynamic where the back row players are primarily focused on defense, passing, and transitioning. Since only the 2 front row players can hit, the offensive options are limited. This means your team will need to be strategic with the 2 attackers in the front row, making every offensive play count. A significant advantage of this formation is that it gives every player a chance to work on setting skills without having to transition. Since setting is restricted to the front row, other players in the back row will have more opportunities to develop their defensive skills, passing, and court awareness. Notice that when players rotate, they will take on a new position according to the place on the court. Now let's take a look at the 6-6 volleyball offense scheme. What is the 6-6 formation? In a 6-6 formation, all 6 players are treated the same. Everyone rotates through every position, and whoever is in the right back position becomes the setter. There are no specialized setters and no designated hitters. Players learn all the roles: passing, setting, hitting, blocking. It's a fantastic way to build foundational skills. Here's how the court looks in a 6-6. In right back is the setter in position 1. In position 2 of the front row is the right side. The middle is the person in position 3. The outside hitter is in position 4. And the 2 remaining players in position 5 and position 6 in back row are the defensive specialists. That means the setter changes every rotation. This rotation ensures every player gets a chance to experience each position over time. Pros of the 6-6 formation. It's simple to teach. It teaches everyone to work on setter transitioning from back row. Everyone gets equal playing time in different roles. Helps players develop all-around volleyball IQ. Great for younger or developmental teams. Notice that when players rotate, they will take on a new position according to the place on the court. Now let's take a look at the 6-3 volleyball offense scheme. So what is the 6-3 formation? The 6-3 formation typically involves 3 setters in at all times, as well as mixed in with 3 other athletic players that can play multiple positions. In this setup, the setters will only set for the first 2 rotations in which they are in the back row. This formation ensures that there are always 3 attackers at the net, providing multiple options for offense while maintaining consistency in defense. Here is a typical example of a 6-3 formation. Please feel free to pause at any time. As you go to rotation 3, it's typically the same movement of the players 2 rotations at a time. Please note that this is a very general demonstration, as you need to designate what position on the court the other non-setter players will be playing. So the key features of the 6-3 formation. One of the most distinct features of the 6-3 formation is the 3 attackers in the front row. This gives the team a greater chance of running effective offensive plays because there are always multiple options for attacking the ball. The team has 3 players who can potentially convert sets into successful attacks, allowing for greater offensive pressure on the opposing team. Unlike the 5-2 formation, where both setters rotate in and out of the back and front rows, the 6-3 formation has one setter who remains in the back row, and the other setters playing other positions on the court. The designated setter in the back row is responsible for setting up the ball for the attackers in the front row, and when the setter rotates to their 3rd rotation, then they will become a DS, and the next setter who came to right back will set next. More offensive options. With 3 front row attackers and always a setter in right front, the team has more offensive options. I hope you found this helpful. For a free download of this printable sheet for players or your own use, click on the link below and visit volleyballtools.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you have any questions or want to see more volleyball resources. See you in the next video.